G'day YouTubers, it's been a while but I finally got out another overnighter last week. This old lunar charts were terrible. You can't catch snapper, you can't catch pearlies, but I went out anyway because I wanted to test some equipment and I still wanted to have a play with my new transducer and make sure I had all that under control before I get out to do some offshore fishing when the snapper season opens again.
Well, it's a lot later than I wanted to get away. I wasn't feeling too well, I wasn't sure whether I'd come out or not. But I started to feel a bit better and I figured it'd be good for me, so here I am. I'll still get anchored up well before dark. I've already dropped the pots on the way out. Well, here's to a good overnighter on the water.
And this was pretty much as rough as it got the whole weekend. It certainly made up for the bad weather we've been having, which has kept us all ashore. I'm still playing with my sounder so that I can get a handle on the new transducer before I go offshore when the snapper season lifts. These are some images that I took at 22 knots and the last one's at 24 knots going through the Rouse channel. Before we get too excited about the amount of structure that there appears to be down there, at this speed any rise looks very steep. If I was going a lot slower, these would be gradual rises. So even the last one, which shows quite a substantial drop off, isn't really what it appears to be because of the speed I was travelling at. This next series of 7 sounder screenshots though is taken at a more reasonable speed for searching, and that is 2 knots or below. If you're looking for fish, you really need to be going slow. All of these screenshots were taken when I was sounding around the Rouse Knob, looking to see where the fish were, identifying the most likely structure to fish in the morning and where to fish for I needed to anchor up for the night. As you can see, there's a lot of bait hanging around and there's the odd larger fish.
Come on. Not big, but come on. Righto. Let go. Oh well. Rebait him and try again. Now I've got a little bit of luxury here. New Barbie. Looking forward to trying it out. Oh, got one. What's that, a little Squire? Whoop to those. Oh well. Picture of him, he's tiny, no take anyway, so he's going back. The rub doesn't go very far.
Well, the new barbecue worked perfectly, having it firmly attached to the boat with a grill on it rather than having to hold onto a pan if the boat rocks made it a lot better. Even if I go out in rough weather now, I can take the barbie and be confident of having a hot meal. I got finished just in time to sit down and enjoy the sunset.
I've still got some work I want to do. One of these sounders is not recognising the transducer, so I need to have a look at that. Need to do a few other things, so I need a good sleep. I have an early night, so here sounds pretty good. I was about to pull my line in and got another one of these things. He was trying to take a hook. Oh, I'll stick him in there. It'll be bait for later. Right, now I'll see about anchoring. That's the next job.
While I was fishing, I was holding on the mid-coda so that I could be right over the spot that I'd picked the fish on. But now that I was going to anchor for the night, I wanted to move away from the knob a little bit to try and find some ground that the anchor would bite into without getting snagged up. I'm not exactly sure what the knob is. I suspect it's a rocky outcrop. I have never dived it, but one day I'll send the ROV down to have a good look at it. I just need to find a day when the sun's up and there's not too many boats around so the tether doesn't get snagged in someone else's fishing lines. It's a bit of a big ask, but one day the stars will all align and I'll be able to do that. And just a quick word on anchoring up for the night. When you drop your anchor, put your boat into reverse so that your anchor chain doesn't all fall up in a bundle down the bottom. You want to be reversing by the time your anchor hits the bottom so that your chain lays out nice and straight. Then if you're using an anchor winch, keep reversing while you're letting the line out so that the line doesn't become slack and get tangled up in the winch. When you've got enough line out, leave it in reverse, stop the winch and let the boat pull the anchor down into the sand. You'll feel the anchor bite into the bottom and you'll know that you're secure for the night, provided you've got enough rode out. The weather was extremely calm, and as happens to me so often when I go out for an overnighter, despite my best intentions to stay up and fish tonight, the bed starts calling me and I end up going to bed. This one was no exception. I went to bed and I sleep like a baby on the water. I normally sleep 6-7 hours at night at home. I slept for 11 hours on the water. Woke up, the sun was up. The afternoon before, after I arrived, I spent some time exploring around and I decided the two best spots to fish in the morning, with the tide being what it was. Had them marked in the hummingbird so I could just hit the button on the Minn and the hummingbird would guide me there. Woke up in the morning after the sun was up, way later than I'd intended to, and two people were already there fishing on those spots. They must have thought they were good spots too. And fair enough, they're the early birds, they got the worm, so that left me just having to find a second best spot. I hope they got something. I didn't, I only got small ones, but I hope they got something.
See our baby snap. Got it. Catch and release day today. Another little Squire. Feels like he might get better fish, but he's still a... Come on, slow down. What are we getting him up at? About 28 or so. Oh, another one of these bloody things. Alright.
A lot more boats turned up shortly afterwards, and since I didn't have the spots that I wanted and I was only pulling up small stuff, I decided that I'd have a bit of a troll around, go for an explore and get used to my transducer, and maybe stop at Peel and have a bit of a fish on the way home. So that's what I did. I did a run down the Rous, trolled out to the Hope Banks, down past the Naval Banks, across past the Lazaret, around the east side of Peel, and then gave up on the trolling, headed across Horseshoe Bay and started to fish the reef just inside the southwest rocks on the Horseshoe Bay side.
how good is this? Rouse channel. Just how good is this? I'm just having a troll. We've gone past the Lazarette. I'm going to go around the east side of Peel. Just have a nice day out cruising the bay, I think. Can't catch snapper. What a lovely day. Some blokes just playing around up on top of the light. Don't know whether they're harbour some marine people or just having a skylark.
And this is a few more sounder shots I took in the morning when I was trolling around the north side of Peel. The first one in particular is interesting because it might be one of those things you hear people talk about. They call them sinkholes, things like that. It appears to be a soft spot on the bottom and there's some fish hanging around it. There's not very many fish, a few, and they look to be quite small on the sounder. It's difficult to tell how big a fish is on the sounder, but they do look small. I see quite a few of these around the bay as I'm travelling around. I've always got my eye out for this sort of thing. And now that I've got the ROV, as soon as I find the right situation, I'm going to send the ROV down to have a good look at these to see just exactly what they are. Once I start to examine them and see what they are, I'll start putting a few marks up for them so you can have a look for yourselves, if they're of any real interest, that is. And these next three images are just irregularities in the bottom on the northeast side of Peel. There's nothing really special about them. I'm not seeing any fish there. However, I am going fairly slow and there are irregularities at the bottom which may at times attract foraging fish. I've no evidence to say that the fish will be there. I've never fished them and I don't see any fish on them. But it's that sort of thing you just take note of when you're going past. You keep an eye on your sounder and have a look to just see if anything changes. These ones in particular aren't impressive enough to get me excited that I ever will find any fish there. I'm mainly using them to illustrate a point. Got him, whatever it is. I just stopped in at Peel for a quick fish. Only tiny. Oh, really tiny. Likes a mullet though. Well, little Squire. We're a mullet from Mr. Bait, just already filleted and just ready to stick on. I think the mullet's probably more durable than the squid, so I'll pull the squid up first and see if I've got anything left on it. Oh, got something. I've got something. Jagged. That's why he felt bigger than he was. There you go, another little Squire. I came in here, I was going to put the submarine down, but unfortunately my phone's nearly out of charge and I need my phone to see what's happening down there. So that's a bit of a non-event. I got another one, another baby, and one on the other line as well. What have we got this time? Brim. Yeah. Alright. He's still too small to worry about, but let's put that on. See if you can catch yourself. Alright, got another one.
Another little tiny baby Squire. Oh, a bit of fun. Let's feed these little ones with the rest of the bait and then I can go pick up the crab pots. This one. Oh, oh, no, let go. What'd you do that for?
Security, security, security. Morning. Get in the rescue check as well. The government just announced a snap lockdown from 4 p.m. this afternoon till Tuesday afternoon 4 p.m. for the following areas: Brisbane City, Moreton Bay, Gold Coast, Ipswich, Lockyer Valley, Logan City, Lusail, Reedland City, Cinegram, Somerset, and Sunshine Coast. This is Marine Rescue. Check as well out.
Okay. In lockdown again.
Rescue, Jacobs. Well done. Thank you, mate.
Oh, got him. Only tiny. Yep, another little, oh, a little bit bigger than the others. Can't keep him anyway, even if he was big enough, but they're going up in size. He's too small. I'll give him a quick measure and see what he's going to go. 32. There. Let's wash your bait bags out in the water. Never hurts to put a bit more barley juice in. Oh, you got one. Oh. Oh, what are you? Oh, oh, parrot. No, tusk fish. So he might nearly go legal. I think he will. Give you a measure. Oh, will you or won't you? You're going 33. Oh, you're legal. Good on you. Well, you saved me a donut. Put him back in and I'll attend to dispatching him, bleeding him, all the rest of it. Oh, yeah. Come on, I want you out. One way or another, you is coming out. But yeah.
Depending on the species, you can keep live bait alive for quite a long time. To do that, you need to have a live bait tank and an aerator. The aerator is really cheap. That's a little unit sitting on the seat. Takes a single battery in it, and the battery usually lasts for a day or two if you run it continually. As for pumping the water in, that has to be done manually. You'll have a switch somewhere in your boat, turn it on, water pumps into the tank. You need to keep doing that time to time. Don't leave it running because you can flatten your batteries, but turn it on for 5 minutes and then turn it off for maybe another 10-15 minutes.
Okay, got you dead. That was goal number 1. Number 2 will cut you straight for you. Oops, daisy. I can cut a bit better than that, eh? Gosh, slippery bugger. That's got it. Yeah, put a charger cord on for my phone. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get to play with my new toy. I did want to go along this area and show you guys what it looks like underwater. It's been a long time since I've dived it. It's quite interesting, eh? The bottom down here. Oh, it's not bad, 11 o'clock. Oh yes, we've got a telltale. Have a quick flip around the edge of the reef while I'm going out on my sounders. Just got to love playing with my new transducer. And then we'll go pick up the crab pots. See how we went there. You can actually see the reef down there through this water. This is how we used to fish it. Come in over the reef, see the reef, then come back where you couldn't see it and cast your line. Oh, some fish holding there. And there.
These couple of sounder shots here, one from the rain marine, the other from the hummingbird, are a pinnacle that I came across near the mouth of Raby Bay. I've been over the area quite a lot over the years, but I have never come across this one before. I was doing about 6 knots, so the pinnacle's probably looking a lot narrower, deeper than it really is. If I was doing a proper sounding around 2 knots, it would look a lot wider, but it's still a fairly substantial hill coming up about 1 metre. I don't know that it means anything. Again, it's just one of those things I keep my eye out for on the sounder and throw a mark in on it when I see it, and I may come back and have a look at some point in the future. It's a little bit unfortunate that I didn't capture it on the side imaging. It had already scrolled off by the time I took the snap on the hummingbird, and I didn't even really get to look at it on the side imaging, let alone take a snapshot of it. I was too busy taking the screen capture on the rain marine. But never mind, as I said, there's always next time.
Oh, something. No, yes. Yeah, some rock crabs. That's it. Not very impressive. Oh, and we got one in with the bait too. Well, you're an enterprising little fella, aren't you? Oh, what a... Ooh, you're all muddy. Oh, no. And it's another one of those little things which could be... there's another crab. Looks a bit like a mud crab at this size, but it's got those, yeah, it's something else. I just can't remember the name of it. Oh, I love these pots. So much easier to handle.
Well, that's it for the video. I came home with a legal tusky, and I did manage to get one legal crab out of all the crabs that were in the pots. There were a few small males there, but they're mainly full of jennies. Anyway, if you'd listened to the whole video, you would have heard the Security call announcing that many parts of southeast Queensland were going into lockdown, including where I live. So even though it wasn't a great fishing trip out, it was just a wonderful trip out on the bay in the weather that we had. I got best night's sleep I've had in a long time, and just thoroughly enjoyed the whole session, including playing with my transducer, just sitting there having a troll in the calmest of weather. Great trip. Now we're all locked down as I edit this video, so really glad that I got out and made the effort to go out, even though I wasn't feeling all that well when I left on the Friday afternoon. The rules have changed this time, so we're not supposed to be doing any fishing from a boat unless you can remain within 10 kilometres of your residence, which rules everything out for me, because I'm lucky to have one shop within 10 kilometres of my residence, so I won't be fishing until I lift the lockdown, unfortunately. I'll have to live on the memories. I normally say good fishing, but this time I'm going to say, until we fish again, stay safe.